What happens when the evidence seems to point in every direction, but no answers ever come? Imagine a case where the police are handed a mountain of clues, but they still can't solve the mystery. How could that be possible? In this video, we'll explore 8 of the strangest cases in law enforcement history. Cases that left police scratching their heads and the world wondering what really happened. Get ready for stories that defy logic, and stick around until the end, because you'll never guess which case has the most bizarre twist. Let's dive in. 1. The Zodiac Killer, USA, 1968 to 1969. Terrorizing the San Francisco Bay Area, the Zodiac Killer became one of the most infamous unsolved mysteries in history. Over the course of several years, the killer taunted police and the public, sending cryptic letters and complicated ciphers to local newspapers. These letters claimed responsibility for 37 murders, although authorities could only confirm 5. Despite the killer's detailed letters, eerie phone calls, and direct communication with the police, he was never caught. The sheer audacity of the Zodiac's actions, combined with his ability to elude capture while directly interacting with the media, made this case both terrifying and frustrating. To this day, the killer's identity remains unknown, and his final letters, some of which have never been fully decoded, continue to haunt those trying to close the case. In recent years, new DNA testing techniques have offered some hope, but the killer's identity remains elusive. The case's lasting impact on pop culture and law enforcement is undeniable, leaving many to wonder if we will ever learn the truth behind his reign of terror. 2. Tragedy Case, Germany, 1984. In 1984, a strange and chilling incident unfolded in Germany that has baffled police to this day. A man named Gunther Stoll was found dead in his car after crashing it, with a mysterious word "Urgitisi" written on a piece of paper in his hand. Stoll was found naked in the passenger seat, and despite extensive investigation, no clear explanation was found for his bizarre death. What made this case even more puzzling was that Stoll had been injured before the crash, leading investigators to believe that he had been placed in the car by someone else. His behavior before the crash was erratic and strange, and the word "Urgitisi" seemed to hold no logical meaning. Was it a code, a message, or a clue to something much darker? Even today, the mystery of Gunther Stoll's death and the significance of the word "Urgitisi" remain unsolved, leaving the police and the public with more questions than answers. Could this be a case of a secretive death, or something far more sinister? 3. The Boy in the Box, USA, 1957. Known as America's Unknown Child, the case of the boy in the box is one of the most frustrating cold cases in U.S. history. In 1957, the body of a young boy, aged between 4 and 6, was found in a cardboard box, discarded in a wooded area in Philadelphia. There were no obvious signs of abuse, and he was well cared for, making his death all the more puzzling. Despite thousands of leads and countless hours of investigation, no one was able to identify the boy or uncover the identity of the killer. This heartbreaking case still remains unsolved, with people across the country still wondering who this boy was, why he was left to die alone, and what happened in those final moments of his life. Despite the lack of solid answers, new technology and genetic testing have brought fresh hope, with some believing that a breakthrough could be on the horizon. The case also sparked a nationwide conversation about child welfare and the responsibility society holds in protecting its most vulnerable members. 4. The Severed Feet Mystery, Canada, 2007-present. One of the strangest mysteries to baffle authorities in Canada is the case of the severed feet that began washing up on the shores of British Columbia in 2007. Over the years, numerous human feet, still wearing sneakers, were discovered along the coast, with no other body parts found nearby. Some were linked to suicides, but the sheer number and randomness of these discoveries raised more questions than answers. With no evidence to suggest foul play, and no connection between the feet and missing persons reports, this bizarre phenomenon remains unexplained. Were these feet victims of a gruesome crime, Or is there a more innocuous explanation? The mystery continues to intrigue the public, but the police have yet to crack the case. Some theorize that these feet could be linked to tragic boating accidents, while others suspect a more sinister connection. Over a decade later, authorities still struggle to identify the reason behind this chilling phenomenon, leaving the case open and unsolved. 5. The Glicker Morinaga Case, Japan, 1984 to 1985. In the mid-1980s, Japan was rocked by a series of extortion cases involving a group calling itself the Monster with 21 Faces. This group extorted two major Japanese food companies, Glico and Morinaga, by lacing candy with cyanide and sending letters threatening to contaminate more products. Despite the group taunting police and even causing a police superintendent's suicide, the criminals vanished without a trace. No one ever found out who they were or why they targeted these companies. The mystery deepened with every twist, especially as police received more bizarre, taunting letters. How could a group commit such acts of terror and then disappear into thin air? Despite the years of effort, this case remains one of Japan's most haunting unsolved mysteries. 6. The Sesarong Medum, Straits of Malacca, 1947. In 1947, a Dutch ship sent out a distress signal with a chilling message: "All officers are dead. I die." When a nearby American ship responded and boarded the Dutch vessel, the crew found everyone aboard dead, with their faces frozen in terror. The strange part? The ship exploded shortly after the discovery, and its wreckage disappeared without a trace. The exact cause of the crew's deaths remains a mystery. Some speculate that the ship was carrying dangerous cargo or was involved in secretive military operations, but no one knows for sure. Was it a freak accident, or something much more sinister? The Sesarong Medon remains one of the eeriest maritime mysteries in history, with no survivors and no conclusive explanations. 7. The Istel Woman/Ice Valley Mystery, Norway, 1970. In 1970, the body of a woman was discovered in Istelen Valley, Norway. She had been burned beyond recognition, and all her clothing labels had been removed. The authorities found suitcases nearby, filled with wigs, fake passports, and coded notes, leading many to speculate that she was a spy or involved in covert activities. Despite extensive investigations, her true identity and the circumstances of her death remain a mystery. Was she a victim of espionage? Or did she fall prey to a personal tragedy? The case was closed, but new theories continue to emerge. The Istel woman remains one of the most baffling cold cases, a reminder that some secrets may never be revealed. In recent years, genetic testing has provided new clues, but they've yet to uncover her true identity, leaving this dark mystery unsolved and continuing to intrigue those with an interest in cold cases and espionage. 8. The Setagaya Family Murder, Japan, 2000. The brutal murder of the Miyazawa family in their home in Setagaya, Japan, remains one of the most baffling cases in modern history. In 2000, the family of 4 was slaughtered in their home, but the most unsettling part of the case is that the killer stayed in the house for several hours after committing the murders. The perpetrator ate food from the fridge, used the family's computer, and even left behind a significant amount of DNA and fingerprints. Despite all the evidence, including the killer's clothing, the police were unable to identify the murderer. Why did the killer stay so long after the crime? And why was the case never solved? The Setagaya family murder remains one of Japan's most frustrating and perplexing unsolved cases. The sheer amount of evidence left behind has led some to believe the killer may have been someone who knew the family, but despite this, the case remains unsolved. Each new theory only seems to raise more questions, and many wonder if the true culprit will ever be found. There you have it, 8 strange cases that continue to baffle police to this day. From cryptic messages and eerie disappearances to unsolved murders, These mysteries raise more questions than answers. What do you think happened in these cases? Are there clues we've missed? Or is there something darker at play? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want to dive deeper into the world of strange and unsolved mysteries, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more stories that will leave you questioning everything. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the unknown.